Are you a team leader that's trying to scale a real estate team, but starting to grow and realizing it's hard to keep your culture intact? Or maybe you're worried about just losing people the bigger you grow. Well, if so, this video is for you. My name is Jared Davis, and I run Mega Agent Academy, a YouTube channel that's built to help agents, whether you're new and starting off in the business, or whether you're really starting to blow up, but maybe you're starting to bottleneck. Or maybe you're starting to make a lot of money, but you don't know, what am I supposed to do with it to build wealth for the future? That's what we are here to do. Also, we do live coaching calls every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern. You'll find the link to that in our profile below. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe for all of the latest coaching videos. You can also find me on Instagram at JaredDavisRE if you want to reach out and ask, what does it look like to partner with us in the business? So by the end of this video, what I really want to teach you guys is what we do in our team to preserve culture, to keep growth moving, and really to just prevent big organizational chaos. So I have a team, it's a little over 30 agents right this second, not counting any of our staff. And as we grew from me to the first couple buyers agents to 5 to 10 buyers agents to 20 to 30, things honestly just change. They're gonna change. You're not gonna have the same feel at 5 agents or 2 agents that you have at 10 or 15 or 20. But one thing that I have found is that after 10 agents, you really start to get some synergy. You start seeing different agents kind of befriend one another, agents that click with one another, that'll reach out and help each other. You start having enough people in the room where it doesn't just feel like 1 or 2 people is coming to help a team leader out, but it feels like an actual team. But with that being said, sometimes as that growth starts happening, sometimes we can let people in that can start to hurt our culture. We can let people in that maybe aren't the best fit, or as it starts to grow, maybe some of your top producers that feel like maybe they had better access to you in the beginning, maybe they start to think about leaving or getting out, or it just doesn't feel like it used to. So what I want to share first is some of our actual core values. So if you haven't actually sat down to write out your core values for yourself and your team, this is crucial. This is something that I think a lot of businesses don't do, and they may not think about it, and they may think it's a secondary thought, but it's something that every organization needs, because when you go to hire somebody onto your team, you have to decide, 1, do they fit these things? But 2, you need to go over it with them before you hire to see, do they think that they fit into the culture there? So I'm going to give you 4 core values that we have in our team. And core values also, once you write them, they're things that 1, you actually have to stand by, but 2, you have to constantly be bombarding your team with them. It's not something that you can tell them when you hire and then never talk about again. These are things that on a regular basis, you are going to bring up to your team and ask them, are we living in these core values? So our number 1 core value within our team, and I also run an EXP organization, about 400 agents right this second across 30 states, 4 countries, and ultimately I want these same core values within my group, because I don't want agents calling me to partner with me if they're not going to live by these things. And the first and foremost core value for people to be able to partner with us, to be able to come in and be a part of our team, is to be the agent that other agents want to help. I want you to think about just how simple of a principle that is, to be the agent other agents want to help. Are you someone that when you reach out for help, the other agents are going to look at you and say, man, I really want to help that guy or that girl because they're always putting their neck out for me. They're always there when I need them. If you're somebody that comes into the team, and I can see this on an interview, someone says, well, I want leads and I want this and I want that, and can I get your assistant to help me with this, and who's going to do the paperwork and who's going to help me with this? But then we try to get you to just show up for the stuff you're supposed to show up for, or other agents on the team say, hey, could someone help cover a showing, and you're MIA always? It's a huge red flag. See, the person that's always taking and not willing to give, that's not somebody that we really want on our team. We want to know that if I leave, like I'm going out of country today, I want to know that everyone on my team, if they reach out for help, there's going to be plenty of people that raise their hand and say, hey, I got you. I know Jared's gone. What can I do for you? And that goes across the board. So you think about people going on vacation, they need help with showings. You think about people that need help with their first open houses, people that need help with their first contracts and paperwork. And yes, they have me, the team lead. They have my right-hand man, Galen. They have our transaction coordinator. They have our my assistant that they can reach out to. But the reality is that we want the other agents to be able to pick up the ball to say, hey, do you need some help with role play? Do you need some help with scripting? Do you want to listen to me make calls? Do you want to come to my open house, right? Because that builds a culture that people want to be a part of. So that is the number one thing. And I'll ask people that. I've had agents that I've let go in the past, and I've asked them that exact question. When we're sitting down and trying to decide, are they a fit? I'm asking them, hey, that thing you did the other day, was that being the agent that other agents want to help? And I'll let them answer. And if they say no, I'll ask them bluntly, do you think that this is the place for you? Do you think that this is a fit because of that? The second thing, positive energy and customer service above all else. We don't want Eeyores. You ever see Winnie the Pooh? You ever listen to Eeyore? We don't want a bunch of Eeyores in the room. They're energy suckers. You can think about it like a fountain. What does a fountain do? It overflows. It pours water. You can also think about maybe a drain on a road. What does that do? It sucks the water in. It just drains, right? So are you a fountain? Are you bringing forth energy? Are you bringing forth water? Or are you just a drain? Are you sucking it away? You can watch my videos and you can see that I'm pretty energetic about this. I like what I do. I'm in this for the love of the game at this point. And the reality is I want to teach other people about it. I want to share that energy. But if people are on the phones and they sound like they're chained to a desk because they have no energy, they sound like they're being punished to go to work, they sound like they're sad to be in the room, it just doesn't work. Zig Ziglar always said, sales is the transfer of enthusiasm from one person to another. And so that's what we want to instill in our agents. We want them to be excited. We want them to be energetic about everything they're doing. So that's our core value number 2. Number 3, be humble, but be hungry. I don't know if you can see this in my pan, but stay humble, stay hungry. It's right on the background in my office. I see it every single day. We want our people to be hungry. We want them to go out and we want them to chase and hit their goals no matter how big they are. But what we do not want is people to be jerks about it. You still have to be a good person. Sometimes the more successful these agents get, they start to think that they're something. They start to think that they're special. They start to think that they're better than everybody else. We never want that attitude within our team or within our EXP group. We want people to realize, I don't care how much money you make. Are you a good person? Do people like you? Are you there for people and are they there for you? Do they like to be around you? So again, be hungry, be humble. No jerks. It really just comes down. We don't want jerks around us ever. So a lot of these core values funnel into that. And then the last thing, love the follow-up. Ferocious follow-up. Follow up fiercely. Dial till they die. Be a guaranteed friend. Touch everything all the time. So how does that play in, right? To love follow-up. Well, think about it. You could hire an agent on your team that's willing to help people. They will go out and they will show houses for their fellow agent. They will answer questions if questions are given to them. They will role play. They will be available for a phone call. They have positive energy. They seem really hungry, or maybe not as hungry, but they seem very humble. But then you go and you ask them, well, what did you do this week? How many conversations did you have? How many appointments did you have? Did you do your follow-up? And they're not making the calls and they're not following up. And they say, well, I'm really just not somebody that likes to get on the phones. Okay, fine. How about open houses? Well, I did some opens, but nobody really came. Well, did you follow up for the people that did come? Well, I called somebody once, right? You see how that could be such a problem because we know that this business is all about consistency. It's all about follow-up. So I've had people on my team where I said, hey, you're showing up to stuff and you're really nice and people seem to like you, but you're just not following up with people. You're just not making your calls and cranking out what you need to crank for conversations. Do you think you're a fit here? And normally they will admit, no, I don't think that that's me. And that's okay, right? Because they can now go and do whatever they want with another team, or they can go solo, or we'll help them with the EXP and still coach them and they can come to our trainings. But as long as I know that they're fitting those core values, and they can stay. And if they don't, then this just isn't the place. So really, really, really knock down what are your core values that build your actual culture. Now, I'd like to talk about standards for a second, right? What standards do you have? Because again, you may have people that fit into your core values, but then what's your actual accountability standard that you're setting for your team? In one of the last videos we did, we talked about our morning huddle, our essentially accountability calls that we do 3 days a week at 8 a.m., Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So for anybody to join our team at this point, they have to be willing to come to our morning accountability calls, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's on Zoom. It's at 8 a.m. This is not a hard ask, people. When you were in elementary school, you likely got up at 5 or 6 in the morning to get on a school bus. Yet we have grown adults that are like, oh man, I don't know if I can get up in time to get on this 8 o'clock. That's crazy. Turn your camera on, get out of bed or stay in bed. I don't care. Just be on the accountability call. It's how we track everything. How many conversations you have. What were your real estate wins? What are your numbers for the week? What's your goal gonna be today and this week, right? So if somebody says, oh, I don't think I can handle that, then they don't get to be on the team. We have a team meeting every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Now again, this is also on Zoom because our team is so big now, it's 30 plus people. It's just much easier to get together on Zoom. I would love to have it in person every week, but it's just not feasible. So the reality is that the easiest thing we can do is do it on Zoom. So again, wherever they're at, they just have to have their phone and they need to time block that team meeting. It's really easy. The last thing we do is we do a role play day in person. And this is for everybody, agents that are in our EXP organization, other teams, agents that aren't even with EXP, anybody can come to our role play days. But if you're on my team, you have to be at least one a month. We do it every first Thursday and every third Thursday of the month. It's 2 hours, it's live in person, and we sit in the room and we role play different scenarios to teach them to hone their sales skills. I have guys that joined me a year and a half ago that have done $180,000 in 1 month in commission that are in their 20s that still live at home with their parents because they come to our role plays, they show up, and they do the things they need to do. So the reality is you have to set that standard for what is a non-negotiable. I find that most of the teams in our area that are struggling to make it, and that's most teams, by the way. If you're sitting here and you're still watching this video, most teams struggle to make it. You guys are running non-profit businesses so your agents can go out and run a for-profit business. That's just the truth of the matter. And agents are so afraid of losing their buyer's agents and their seller's agents, these team leaders, that they don't want to incorporate standards. They don't want to incorporate strict guidelines because they're afraid if they do that they're gonna lose their agents. But here's the thing, you don't want the agents that don't stick to your guidelines. The agents that do well, they love the guidelines. They love the standards. They don't like coming up into a room and people aren't showing up. They don't want to come into a team meeting on your team of 5 and be 1 or 2 of your 5 because the other 3 decided not to come. They don't want to come to a role play that should have 15 people in the room and there's 5 there because the other 10 were told they didn't have to be there. So we run a strict standard. If you don't make our morning huddle, you're out of huddles, right? You get 3 strikes in a month and then you're out and you're off leads. If you don't make our role plays, if you're not making our team meetings, we're going to cut you off and eventually we're going to just fire you off of our team. So you have to understand, the stricter you get with your guidelines, the more quality agent you're going to attain as people start coming in, and you're also going to retain because the people that are there are going to do well. They're getting the accountability they need. They're getting the leads they need. They're getting the systems they need. So there are consequences. And the beauty of at least EXP, right, is because we've got this organization of agents, I don't have to run the franchise, but if somebody isn't doing what they need to do, I can let them go off of my team, but they can still stay with EXP. They can still stay in my ecosystem. They can still come to our Monday coaching calls. They can still come to our role play. They're just not a part of our team standard at that point. And that's the beauty. The other thing is if they outgrow us and they say, well, I want to go start a team, it's great. I can just keep them with EXP. Now I'm going to coach him as a team leader instead of a team agent. And if he wants to go build a 30-person sales team, I'm going to make 6 figures a year in revenue share off of that team. So it's a win-win-win. You set the standard, and then if they're not gonna meet the standard, you find another fit for them that will still benefit you and benefit them. So hopefully this has given you guys a little bit of insight on how to build out your team so that you can have some culture building, so that you can have some real accountability, and so that you could put in some actual consequences. The last thing you probably want to work on, and I'll just close with this is more on the team leader for you to do to make it easier. As we've gotten bigger, as we've gotten better, I have found that onboarding systems have become much more crucial, because the bigger you get as a team and the better you get as a team, you typically just have more things for your agents. You probably have things like your CRM, we've got Fellow, we've got Shiloh, we've got Broker Blocks, we've got Vulcan 7, right? There's so many different systems that have different passwords and team layers and team accounts, and these agents come in and they have no idea. So the best thing you can do is make sure that your onboarding process is smooth. So we have been working on SOPs like crazy, just to make sure when somebody comes in, they're put on our website, their business cards get set up, their YLOPO profiles are set up, they get in our CRM, they get on Fellow, they get on Shiloh, everything gets linked. We're using ChatGPT for a lot of that stuff now. We also have guidelines, and I have an assistant that's doing it. If you want to know more on onboarding and things like that, we'll do another video on it. Again, you're welcome to reach out to me. Instagram, Jared Davis RE. Again, if this was helpful, please like and subscribe, and we will see you back here again on our next episode of Mega Agent Academy. Thanks for watching.